Because I have to make a distinction between local church and church. Church in the original is the called out ones of God, but we assemble in a body made up of all kind of people. And there are not always people that's saved in the church. So we don't want to kid ourselves, but you are included in this message because there are some things that points out here that talks to the secular and something talk to the religious. Because you are not able to assert the authenticity of God's requirement. Nobody but God can set the standard. He was not called to preach, which is very important. It's very interesting in this text that Amos was not a preacher. He didn't ask to be one, but he was one who knew God enough that he could go to God and ask him to do some things. And if God did something for him, Amos was pleased. He wasn't trying to fight for no pulpit. Every one of you, us, are here. We have the responsibility of lifting the standard that corresponds to the God that we serve. We have to be responsible, people. It's not just the raw job of the preacher. So we must work toward that standard that unify us as a culture. Not only the fact that Amos was not a preacher, but he did a better job than the preacher. Amariah was a preacher who tried to interfere with Amos' preaching according to what God had showed him. He did not credit, he dismissed the authority of Amos and tried to send Amos off the scene so he could collaborate with the king. God sees all this with his command in view. He sees the review with a review of quality, good and bad. He sees the good and the bad. The overt, he sees the overt, he sees the influence, useful or not. He sees, but he's, why is the Lord so patient watching us build our lives, our spiritual lives, our institutions? And he don't bring judgment so quickly. He gives you mercy. You got an opportunity. Here's an individual effort. You have an opportunity to correct the moral mishaps of your life. Don't be so stuck in your wrongdoing till you're not willing to repent and correct your life. He's giving you time. Don't be so proud. The only one you got to measure up to is God. You ain't got to measure up to me, the preacher. The only one, because he's giving you time. He's come to this. Take off the mask. Worship in spirit and in truth. Stop faking it, because of faking does not manifest the power that comes from God. As a matter of fact, he wants to invest in people who are humble enough to make a change.